It's too simple to work.
We like living, we like gold, we like silver, we like hoes, we got goals, we just human, we don't know, we ain't stupid.
The only person holding my back is myself. I don't know anything, I just roam 7 seas, I just walk 7 lands. I am a human being, but power rests in my hand.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's your girl Nikki No, aka Nick to the New, aka Nick Murder. CEO, are you mud? The podcast for people. Welcome back. It's been a while since we've been visually in front of you in this setting, so to speak. And today we wanted to do something a bit special for you all as as this is the last day of June and we are wrapping up the month of June. We wanted to discuss men's mental health awareness. I know. This month was designated to bring awareness to mental health, specifically issues that pertain to men. And if you all have been following me up until this point, throughout the course of the month, I've been posting bits of mindful tips and also some interesting stats that I thought was pretty cool when I started to just gather information on mental health awareness, Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, and specifically how it affects Black men. I noticed that a few influencers have definitely shed light on the matter or definitely spoke of Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. Justin LeBoy is one that I thought was pretty funny, where he said, men go through stuff too. Ladies ain't the only one that go through something. And I was like, you know what? You're right. We do know that men also go through things, so we are not discrediting the guys. Like, sorry, folks, we've never discredited you, actually. It's actually been the opposite. I think a lot of women have been pushing for the men in their lives to actually take heed and to address their mental health issues and or concerns, because usually your romantic partners are the ones who will be able to see a lot more of, your emotional well-being, right? How you process maybe stressful matters, or how do you process things, do you get easily overwhelmed? Things of that nature. So I feel like this month was, I think we did very well, I want to say, as far as the awareness. And as far as what I've noticed in the social media atmosphere, I think the overall consensus, we've done well. We've made it very obvious, like, gentlemen, please, it's okay to say I'm not okay. And if you have a partner that's like me, we're going to pick up on when you're not okay. Like, you can only hide but so much, and contrary to popular belief, you all actually, they say women speak a lot about, they say women talk a lot about everything, but men speak a lot too about what's going on in their lives and what's bothering them. It's just a matter of what you're doing as far as your outlets and how we're channeling, these things. So here are just some cool facts. If you didn't get a chance to catch any of my social media posts, this was one that I thought was pretty cool. Let me just do this real quick.
Okay, I played too much. Nonetheless, let's get back to the situation at hand. All right, so men's mental health. So this is how society can support men's mental health in several ways. So I did like a quick little search. Like, listen, how can we help the gentlemen? Because they really need some help out here. Like, let's keep it a milli. Y'all, what I saw. Anyway, we're going to leave that for another time. Nonetheless, so first thing is going to be open discussions about mental health. We need to start having the conversation, y'all. Like, seriously, it's 2024. Like, it's so stressful out here. They're talking about, oh my God, what is it? Drafting, guys? Like, it's real. Like, we're not going to sit up here and act like we don't need to be inhaling and exhaling like every other minute to stay cool. I don't know about y'all, but that's what I got to do. So just keep it a milli. Do what you got to do to find your peace. Everybody's different. All right. So open discussions about mental health as soon as possible. possible. Number two, increase access to mental health. Like, let's be real. Everybody doesn't know about the struggle. So we need therapists that actually get the struggle. Folks that have been here for a while. Folks that have been through it. You get what I mean? Like, you guys know. If you know, you know. There's only about 4% of the psychologists and the therapists that are black. Like, let's keep it 1,000. So please, more access to black mental health professionals. More mental health professionals needs to show up front. And I guess I just called myself out in a way, but we'll talk about that another time. 3, promote positive masculinity. Yo, please, brothers, y'all out here looking bad. Get it together, okay? Get it together. I know the sisters have work to do too, but brothers, if we're like in a class right now, and you know how they have different groups of kids that can do what right now. No offense to my folks that was in the 3 class. Shout out to St. Pat's, but you're looking like the 3 class right now. Get it together. Pull it up, okay? Pull it up emotionally and mentally. And you know how you do that? Get a therapist. Somebody that gets it. I'm one of those people that gets it, okay? And I can route you over to someone who gets you as well. Got it? Good. 4, representation in media. The way they got us looking out here in these streets. Crazy. And the way we're glorifying it, all I'm saying is that we just got to do better.
I'll just leave that right there.
Promote positive masculinity. So, what does positive masculinity look like to you?
I apologize in advance, y'all. I'm on my Sunday best energy on these clips, so please forgive me, but enjoy.
Positive.
Like, I was really typing it in, and my internet wasn't even working on the. I don't know what I was doing, but it was classic. Anyway, you don't even see it right here, but just look at me, whole auntie right now, whole auntie. I've waited all my life to be in this mode, though.
Positive masculinity look like? And this was a great one as well. Like, all of these points were great, you know? Open discussion about mental health, actual access to mental health, you know? And not just access to mental health, but mental professionals that get it. Because I was talking to some gentlemen out on the streets, and they said they wanted to talk to people who have been through the struggle. Okay? Who knows what they're going through. They don't want to talk to somebody that, you know, life has just been, you know, peaches and cream, and it's like, oh, okay, like, you know, look at the bright side. No, they want folks that's been through it, you know what I mean? Because that's the only people that's going to get it. If you know, you know. So, back to the situation. Positive masculinity was another one. What does positive masculinity look like to you? I'm going to say this before I spoil. I'm going to just tell you what my definition of positive masculinity looks like. The masculinity is just not toxic.
LOL indignity.
Okay? Like, actual wholesome,
Yes.
stand up men. Not men that belittle other men and not men that belittle women, but men that actually lead. That lead by example. It's not just do as I say, but they actually not just talk the talk, but actually walk the walk. But you know what? I'm going to wait till I have a gentleman I'm going to wait to have a gentleman with me to discuss that a little bit more. But that is what I think positive masculinity looks like. But again,
And for our next slide, here is a list of mental health issues concerning Black men from the greatest concerns to the least. First on the list, depression diagnosis. Now, I wouldn't put these in any rate from least or greatest. They're all viable and valid. So depression is definitely one. Depression diagnosis. A lot of folks are not diagnosed with depression. Suicide rates apparently are going up for Black men. Serious psychological distress is another one. And lastly, utilizing mental health services. Now, men, we don't have to say it again. You guys are not utilizing the mental health services available, and I get it. Not enough Black men, not enough Black women available, but you know what? We have to do our due diligence. We have to do our due diligence and do our homework to find one that actually suits us. And if you can't find one that suits you, there are tons of platforms now available with access to Black mental health professionals. I'm one of them. There's many others out there as well. So make sure you're utilizing the resources that are available for you, okay, to get support in the areas that you could use it.
serious psychological distress is important. And utilizing mental health services is very important. It's very important. And again, I know more women here, you're probably looking like, okay, what does she know? Well, hey, guess what? You know what I know? I know that I do date men. I know that I encounter men. I know that men communicate with me all the time. But guess what I'm also noticing in these men that are communicating with me? I'm noticing that they're hiding a lot. I notice that they're putting forth their representatives and not the actual person that is truly in front of them. And I get it. We all want to put up the big, I'm the big bad. I'm a, I'm this big guy. I'm this, I can do this, and I can beat this person up, and I can, da 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 da. I can pay this bill. Awesome. Good job. Thumbs up in terms of the protection. But if you're not balanced within, excuse me, newsflash, you might actually attack an innocent bystander, or someone who doesn't need to be attacked. If you're not balanced within, if you don't have a sense of understanding of self, what is going to tick me off? This is out of my control. This is a little bit overwhelming. If you don't have self-awareness, is the best way to put it. If you don't have a true sense of self-awareness, you can, unbeknownst to you, attack, whether it be verbally, emotionally, financially, or physically, okay? An innocent bystander, because you haven't really balanced or have a grasp of who you really are. Once we know who we are, once we're honest about our makeup, what makes us and or can break us, once we're genuinely honest about that, we can really be, you can accept the truth. It's easy for you to accept the truth because you're not hiding the truth anymore. You get what I mean? I spoke to this one gentleman, cool dude. He was like, you know what? I don't let things bug me, because he said, you know why? I went through anger management. I know that I can go this far. So I don't allow matters to take me that far or to take me far left. He told me, he said, girls try to argue with me all the time. And he said, I just let them go, He said, I just say, And he said, they get upset because he doesn't allow them to penetrate a certain barrier that he is consciously aware of. Okay? Because he knows that if he allows them to penetrate this barrier that he has had to create for himself, aka boundary, that he's had to form for himself, he knows that he can potentially go to jail. He said he's been in jail a few times, you know what I'm saying? And there's a couple of cats, once they go to jail, they kind of get it. It's like, you know what, I went a little bit too far. There's probably other ways that I could have gone about it. So again, I'm just a lady who happens to like men, who dates men, and currently single right now due to some serious mental health matters that were outside of my realm or outside of my range. If you get what I mean, outside, like sometimes your partners are not your therapist. They cannot actually be your therapist. It's honestly a conflict of interest. That's just one, if you know, but you do know that, you cannot date your therapist. So sometimes relationships can get a little tricky when a partner might be looking, it starts to get a little messy. Like the lines start to get a little blurred once it's like, am I your woman, or am I a therapist, or do I need to be something else, you know? So unfortunately, I am no longer in an actual relationship due to what was being asked of me. I was not able um, to give more than I had already been giving emotionally. And you also know I'm a mom as well, so I also have to um, guide and mold, right? Help mold. I don't want to say mold, but I want to say guide and nurture a little being who has no knowledge of what the world presents, you know, as opposed to an adult who has very much is full aware of what the world presents, and you know, just to ensure that they're also making sure that they're using the tools that is, you know, available to us all. So, long story less long, I'm saying all this to say is that men, I do care. We care. As women, we care about you guys, and we do care about your emotional well-being just as much as your physical well-being. Your physical well-being, obviously, we like that to be intact. Hello, but your emotional well-being is what is also going to sustain long-term relationships. Okay, so I know a lot of the guys are like, the women ain't like they used to be. They're not doing this and they're not catering to that. It's because the women are now mindful, and a lot of us are now self-aware that there's work that has to be done. You know, we gotta address those uncomfortable matters that happened to us when we were smaller, because they affect you as adults. We have to address, right? You know, our upbringings were not always all peachy cream. We have to address the parenting styles that we received. And also, if you're a parent like me, we're like, no, we are not, right? We're not mimicking the old customs. Not all of them. You know, some of them out with the old and in with the new. You know, take what applies and leave what does not. So I'm saying all that to say, gentlemen, is that we do care about you guys. And we're not bashing you. We're not beating you up. We actually want to work with you. But only if you're also willing to work, you know, for yourself first. You know, we can't carry grown men, you know, and carry children and carry a house too. That's asking for a little bit too much from one person, don't you think? I know, because you guys also have a lot that weighs on you too, right? Exactly. So we're trying to balance it. We're trying to work as partners. True partnership, right? Not a dictatorship. We don't want to be no one wants to be with a tyrant. That's like, All right. So here's our last point, and we're gonna close out for today.
No brainer that the fellas are going through something out here in the streets, clearly. Okay, so here are some causes of depression among Black men. Number one, systematic racism and discrimination. Number two, socioeconomic disadvantages. That's already a no brainer as well. Number three, historical trauma. Ding, 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 ding. Number four, cultural stigma. You think. Number five, environmental stressors. Concrete jungle is a struggle sometimes that make me wonder how I keep from going under. Very real. Last but not least, gender norms and expectations. Fellas, I know we ask a lot of you, but you also ask a lot out of us. So let's just be each other's peace, come together whole, do our inner work. And it's all good because
We like living, we like gold, we like silver, we like hoes, we got goals, we just human, we don't know, yo, we ain't stupid.
The only person holding my back is myself. I don't know anything, I just roam 7 seas, I just walk 7 lands. I am a human being, but power rests in my hand. I think I just made a fan, came a long way from lunch tables. I challenge this man.